Hi guys, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, hi Srimant. Thank you. Thanks for the confirmation. Please give us 3 more minutes, guys. We are waiting for a few more people. If no one else join, we'll start the session.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
Hi, Kiran. Good morning. Hi, all. Good morning.
Hi Tulsi, good morning.
Yeah, sure, we will wait, Kiran.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, fine.
So this is a small brief on Power BI evolution, guys. So indeed, so Power BI, I mean, the first step was laid in 2010 itself. Yeah. So what Microsoft planned, they wanted to create interactive data visualization tool. Now I have a question here. If you come to Excel, even in Excel, we have some charts here. Now my question is quite simple. What is the difference between interactive charts and these charts? Anyone has idea? Yeah, it is clearly mentioned that they wanted to create interactive data visualization tool. So now my question is, already we have some visualizations here. We have some charts here. When we have some charts here, why do we need interactive visualizations? Anyone has idea? Or what do we mean by interactive visualizations, guys?
Not sure.
Not sure? Okay. How about others? Any guess? Let's give a guess, guys, if you don't know the answer. Maybe it is easy to use. You mean to say that in Excel, if you want to use
Yeah,
charts, that's
in Excel, we just whatever we operate, it will reflect over there in the Excel. But it should be interactive. Then for sure, like that something should be involved in there. So like whatever we just do over here in the Power BI, it should be tracked, or we should not. In Excel, we cannot go back and we cannot check, right, for all the steps what we have done. But here we have an option. That is my assumption, but I'm not sure.
okay. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Absolutely. I agree partially and I partially disagree. Yeah. Just give me 1 second. I'll open one Power BI report. Using this, I'll explain what do we mean by interactive, guys. Uh, for time being, let's come here. Then in 2013, Microsoft released one important kind of tool. Yeah, that is nothing but Power Query. So Power Query was released in 2013, guys. So it was part of Excel only, but in 2013 Excel version, it was an add-in where people need to enable it. It's like an extra feature. So what is the purpose? For data acquisition and data transformation. Then in 2014, Microsoft launched Power Map for 3D geospatial visualization. Yeah, in 2015, entire Power BI suite was launched. And now Power BI, whenever we talk about Power BI consists of Power BI Service, Power BI Desktop, and Power BI Mobile App. So these three components we call as Power BI Suite. Now, some of you might be thinking, what is this Power BI Service? Yeah, Power BI Service is like a cloud-based application, guys. Okay, so but if you want to work, we need some on-premise application. So Power BI Desktop is a on-premise application where we install this in our computers and we will be working with this. Yeah, then we have Power BI mobile apps. So you prepared a report and you shared with the stakeholders. Now your stakeholders want to use the report or a dashboard. They don't have to necessarily carry the laptop. So they'll be using mobile. Even if they want to operate the dashboard or a report in a mobile, they'll be able to do it. So that is the use of Power BI mobile apps, guys. Now, the major difference between Power BI Desktop and Power BI Service is you can prepare your reports or dashboards in Power BI Desktop. But if you want to share it with others, you cannot share in Power BI Desktop. That we will do with Power BI Service. So here we use one specific word called Power BI publish. When you say publish, you share it with others. We'll see all those things, guys. But Power BI suite, the meaning of Power BI suite is Power BI service, Power BI desktop, and Power BI mobile app. These three things put together, we call that as Power BI suite. Am I clear?
Yeah, Kiran. So here, so for example, we create a Power BI reports. Okay, so we have a Power BI desktop.
Yes.
But the person who is whom we want to share now, so if they don't have it, so we can just share it through this service. This is what you mean, right?
Yeah, Power BI service is like a licensed version.
Okay.
For example, let's say there are 100 people in the organization which I'm working. I want to share with others. Yeah. Then what I'll do, I'll upload my report or a dashboard on a drive. Yeah.
Okay.
Let me put it like this. I'll put
Okay.
it on a drive. From there, a link will be generated. Whoever has a licensed version, they will be able to access, given a condition, if I grant them the permission.
Okay.
So in that case, what happens? My Power BI report or dashboard will be safe because that will be on a cloud space. From there, whoever has access, they will go and they will use it. To use that, we need a licensed version of Power BI. So that is nothing but Power BI service. Am I clear?
Yes, Kiran.
Okay, thank you. So now let's come here, guys. You see this here, I have 6 donut charts here. So these are donut charts. That is the reason I said pie and donut both are not same. Yeah, we need some Excel skills here, guys. Now let's come here. Let me click on this blue color space. Now, if I click on this blue color space, now can you see this? The remaining visualizations also responding as per my selection.
Yes.
Now let me click on this dark blue.
So this is what you mean, like interactive.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it is so good.
Yeah. Do we have this feature in Excel? Am I?
No,
clear?
no, not at all. Yes.
Yeah. This is what I meant by interactive visualization. I mean, I'm just showing very simple example here. But we have so many other features where we'll be discussing. Yeah. Okay. Let's come here. So let me click on it again. Then everything is back. So now based on your selection, the other visualization is also responding. So this is what we meant by interaction, guys. We have other features, but we'll discuss them. So now let me come back to this document. Yeah. So these are the developments, what we have. So in 2016, Azure Power BI embedded on Azure. Now you might have heard a word called Power Platform, Power Apps, Power BI, Azure. Now so many developments are happening based on Azure, guys. This is what I'm saying, like cloud integration. Okay. In 2017, launch of Power BI Premium for larger data volumes, dedicated capacity. Now, generally, does anyone have idea what are the different kinds of applications we have, like Power BI? Do you have idea what are the competitors of Power BI? Anyone knows the competitors of Power BI?
No,
I think Tableau.
Thank you so much, sir. That's absolutely perfect. Tableau. So
Python.
Tableau is another business intelligence tool. Yeah. Then we have Click. Then we have Cognos. Even from Amazon, we have QuickSight. Yeah. Then we have Spotfire. We have so many applications like this, guys. Now, every company is coming up with own business intelligence tool. Now, Power BI is the tool from Microsoft. It's a business intelligence tool from Microsoft. Next, we have Tableau. Now, Tableau is a product of Salesforce. Now, if you observe the market trend, guys, most of the companies are using Power BI or Tableau.
Yes,
Yeah,
right.
of the competitors, but these competitors, they are not playing the major portion. The major portion of the market is occupied by either Power BI or Tableau. So, like if you take the scenario like before COVID or maybe during the COVID, Tableau was in, but post-COVID, the market was completely occupied by Power BI. The reason why Microsoft is very keen on Power BI developments. And the good thing with Power BI is getting updated every month. Every month, you receive the updates on Power BI, guys. Yeah, I'm not saying that the other products, whatever we have here, they are not getting updated. Yes, they are updating them. But you get these updates every month in Power BI. So which is, you can use the latest features. Yeah. Then if I compare Power BI with other applications, guys. So I discussed that we have three components in Power BI suite. One is Power BI desktop. Then we have Power BI service. Then we have Power BI mobile. Okay. So when it comes to Power BI desktop is an on-premise application. Yeah. If you want to use this, you don't have to pay any amount to anyone. You can just go to Microsoft Store. You can download this application and you can start using it. Yeah. Sorry, guys. Let's continue. Yes, somebody, can you please go on mute? I'm getting a lot of disturbance. Yeah, thank you so much. So now, if you go to Microsoft Store, like people, if you are using Android phone, you might have heard the Play Store, right? The same way we have Microsoft Store. Whatever the applications we have from Microsoft, you can download them and you can start using from Microsoft Store. Now, you can go to Microsoft Store and you can download Power BI Desktop. So without paying any fee. Yeah, but if you compare the same thing with Tableau, you can download the Tableau application, but you will get a trial period of only 1 week. After 1 week, you cannot use it. But if you are going with a student license, that's a different story, but everybody will not be a student. So straight away, if I want to try Power BI, then I can try my hands with Power BI Desktop for free. So this has become like a one big advantage in the market. Yeah, because it's completely free. Then second thing, everybody thinks of money. When we go to licensing, yeah. So Tableau, I mean, single user license, it costs $30 per month, Tableau. But the same kind of application, if you want to use Power BI, it costs $10 per month. Let's imagine there are 100 employees in an organization. Let's imagine we are going with individual license. In that case, if I'm going with Tableau, I need to spend $3,000. But if I go with Power BI, I'll be end up spending only $1,000, where a direct cost saving. So now every company is very cautious on cost saving. So that's the reason what people are doing. They are slowly started migrating to Power BI. Even in the market, guys, most of the Tableau dashboards are now getting migrated to Power BI. Yeah, but still there is a big complaint on Power BI. That is, when you compare large data sets, Tableau has its own advantage, guys. When I say large data sets, for example, let's say like Netflix, or for example, let's say Twitter. Yeah. Now, millions of users are using Twitter. Am I correct? So much of data. Now, if you want to handle that kind of data, Power BI is not the good application for that. So in that case, Tableau has its own advantage. But does every company will have the same amount of data? No. There are so many small and medium scale organizations where they deal with data, but not on enormous amounts. The data will be bit low. In that case, when you are able to go with the cost saving and you are getting similar kind of performance, then it's better to go with Power BI, right? So even most of the companies decided that's the reason they are migrating. And one more important point, Power BI is now part of Office 365. You don't have to separately download and install, guys. If you install Office 365, it has, it's like a inbuilt app in Office 365. If you are getting it for free. That's the reason now most of the people are using Power BI. Am I clear? Yeah. Now people come and ask me, if I learn Power BI, will I get job? Yeah. These days, freshers are facing little difficulty to get into Power BI projects. But if you have at least 2 to 3 years of experience, and if you have a proper knowledge on Excel, SQL, then it will be easy to get into Power BI projects. Yeah. Some people may get hurt, but that's the reality. Okay. Online participants, any questions? Can I move on?
No questions, Karan. So
Thank
far,
you.
so good.
Thank you, sir. Now, generally, whenever we talk about Power BI, if I ask what is Power BI, people say that Power BI is a visualization tool. That's a completely wrong word, guys. Power BI is not only visualization tool. Power BI is a business intelligence tool. So the difference between visualization tool and business intelligence tool, visualization tool, you can create nice and attractive charts. That's true. But it will not help you for decision making. Not very powerful decision making. So here, when you say business intelligence, it will help you to take powerful decisions with the support of data. So that's what we are going to do with Power BI. We are not only creating charts, guys. Don't assume that we create interesting charts with Power BI. No, it's a business intelligence tool. So now, whenever you receive an interview call, if somebody asks you, what is Power BI? Don't give the vague answer saying like Power BI is a visualization tool. No, Power BI is not a visualization tool. It's a business intelligence tool. Then it consists of several components. So already we discussed Power BI Desktop, a Windows application for creating reports and data visualizations. Then we have Power BI Service, an online service for sharing and collaborating on reports and dashboards. Then we have Power BI Mobile, apps for viewing reports and dashboards on mobile devices. Is it really important? Do we need to have mobile app? No, not required, sir. Imagine there is a leadership team. For example, let's say a CEO is there. Do you think that a CEO will sit at the desk and he'll be operating on the laptop always? They'll be traveling a lot. Even on the go, if they want to see the dashboard, they don't have to use the laptop again because they'll be carrying the mobile anyway. So they can just open it and they can see it. Now you would ask me, what is so special in that? Now, whatever the dashboard we create in a desktop application, the compatibility may not be available with mobile layout. Am I correct? Because the dimensions are totally different in mobile. Yeah. Now it should be compatible. That's the reason Microsoft released mobile application also. Yeah. Then we have Power BI reporting builder. We'll come to these two things, guys. Yeah. But majorly, people talk about these three components of Power BI. Are we clear? Then we have some building blocks here, guys. So whenever you want to work with Power BI, we must be aware of all these things. First thing, we must be aware of data set. Yeah. Most of the people have wrong assumption, especially in Amirpet. People say that using Excel, you can create all your Power BI dashboards. Will you have your entire data always in Excel? No. We'll be using different data sources. So now here what we will do, that might be a CRM application. That might be a specific database like SQL Server or Oracle Server or any other server, or maybe some web page, or maybe some CSV file, or maybe Excel file, or maybe another format of file, any format of file. Now, using them, what do? We create the relevant data sets. We use those data sets as a backend file. Using that, we create the visualizations. Don't get confused, guys. Visualization is nothing but the chart. In Power BI, we call all the charts as visualizations. Then we have a word called report. Then we have a word called dashboard. So when it comes to report, collection of visualizations on one or more pages. Yeah. Then when it comes to dashboard, guys, this is a major difference. Even people are not aware of this difference. Dashboard is like a single page and interactive views of multiple visualizations. Using multiple pages, what do? We create a single page, guys. That's what we do in dashboard. So basically, using Power BI desktop, we are going to create a report. Using the report, we will create a dashboard, and that dashboard we will publish on Power BI service. Yeah. So these are the components what we have here, guys. Can I move on? Okay. So this is what I'm saying. If you come to Microsoft Store, yeah, you can see this here, Microsoft Store. If you go to Microsoft Store, then you search for Power BI Desktop. You can come here and you can search for Power BI Desktop. You can say this. Can you see this Power BI Desktop? So this is the application what we required for the sessions, guys. I request everyone to download and install it on your machine. But before that, let me talk about the system requirements. If you want to use Power BI, guys, I would suggest you to go with 8 GB RAM. Yeah. And it must be SSD. I'm not saying that you cannot use HDD laptop. You can use, but by any chance, if you are using on HDD laptop, it responds very slow. It takes a lot of time to open, guys. And it consumes, Power BI consumes RAM a lot. That is the reason I'm saying, if you have 8 GB, that's quite good. Even you can work with 4 GB, but that will be very slow. These are the major two requirements what we have to install Power BI, guys. Okay. Now, let me come back here. Once you install it, what you will do is, if you come to the search bar on the taskbar, if you say Power BI, you must be able to see this Power BI desktop application. Yeah. Once you have this application, you will be able to use this application. Am I clear? Can I move on? Any questions? Please don't hesitate to ask us any question.
Yeah. Yeah, all good, Kiran, so far.
So far, good, sir. Thank you. So let's come here, guys. Let me open Power BI. Yeah, Power BI desktop. Let me click on this. Then it takes a bit of time to open. Yeah, please be a little patient. Even SSMS also, it takes a bit of time to open. Same like SSMS, even if you want to open Power BI, it takes a bit of time. Okay. And one more suggestion. People, whoever is coming from Excel background, they keep multiple instances or they open multiple instances of Excel. Yeah, they open multiple files like this. Now you can see this. How many Excel files I opened? 4. Don't do this mistake with Power BI, guys. Yeah, if you open multiple windows of Power BI, your laptop performance will be very slow. So my suggestion, if you want to open, please keep only one window so that it works fast. These are like admin requirements, guys. That's the reason I'm clearly mentioning this. Yeah, the moment you try to open Power BI, same like Excel, you get to this screen. Yeah, first thing here, what it is saying, select a data source or start with a blank report. Please observe this, guys. It is not saying dashboard. It is clearly written here as report. Now, if you want to prepare a report, first you should have a data. How are you going to take the data? What you can do is you can start with a blank report, or here you see so many connectors. So based on the application, you need to use the right connector. Now here what I'm doing, let me come here. I click on get data from other sources. If I click on get data from other sources, this is how a screen will come here. You see different connectors here. What you can do is using Power BI desktop, you can connect to all these applications. The list is quite big. Can you see this here? All these applications, data can be extracted from all these applications. In case you don't see a required connector for your application, then what you can do is you can create own connector. Am I clear? For example, let's say there is one organization. They are using one internal application. Now you want to create a Power BI report based on that internal application. Yeah, you can do that. But for that, we need to have that particular connector. Then we can do that. Now, if you see the list here, the first connector, what we see here is Excel workbook. Yeah, if I give a comparison here, or if I talk about the composition, almost like 50% of the data will come from databases or from cloud applications. Then, I'm talking about Power BI developer role. If you join as a Power BI developer, almost like 50 to 60% data may come from databases and servers or cloud applications. Like 30% may come from Excel or CSV files or text files. Yeah, and remaining 20%, maybe you gather from different sources. Generally, this is how we gather the data to prepare our Power BI report. Okay, for today, what I'm going to do is, the moment I open Power BI, the moment I click on blank report, this is a screen what I come into, guys. So this is the user interface of Power BI. Okay, this is the user interface of Power BI. If you compare this user interface with Excel, it looks pretty similar to Excel. We have like Home tab, then we have Insert tab, then we have Modeling, then we have View, Optimize, and Help. Yeah, these are the different tabs what we have. Now, based on the requirement, you get into particular tab and you will be working with that. Now, let's come here. Let me talk about one more thing. That is, can you see something here, a space in between the dotted lines? Yeah, we have some dotted lines here. So whatever the space you have in between the dotted lines, we call that as canvas. Canvas. So this is the place what we are going to use for our report preparation. Now, on the right hand side of your canvas, you see a pane here called visualizations. Under visualizations, you have some default visualizations here. Now, what we are going to do is, using these default visualizations, we are going to create our reports. Yeah. Now, if you come to left hand side, so can you see something here? Yeah. So here you see three icons. The first icon, so here we call this as report view. So we have different views here. So first one is report view. Then second one is table view. When we load a data, so using this table view, same like Excel, you will be able to see rows and columns. That we can do in table view, guys. Then let's come to the next one. We call this as model view. When you say model view, so basically here, what do? We create a relationship from one table to another table. Now let's imagine three tables here. 1, 2, 3. So basically here, what we have done, we created a relationship. Now to create this relationship, we must be familiar with the concept of primary key, foreign key, star schema, snowflake schema. You must know all these things. If you don't know those concepts, you cannot create this data model. So we call this as model view. In model view, why do we use model view? Basically, for data modeling, we use model view, guys. Yeah. Again, in SQL, we discuss one more topic called fact table and dimension table. Hope you guys remember fact table and dim table. So we'll be working with dim tables and fact tables a lot. With the combination of dim and fact tables, we'll be preparing our reports in Power BI. Now, if you don't know what is a dim table, what is a fact table, how do you work here? That's the reason I'm clearly saying that Excel and SQL knowledge is mandatory. Are we good? Yeah, online participants. Am I clear with this?
Yeah, Kiran.
Okay. So now let me come back to report view, guys. If you come to report view, we discussed that whatever the space we have in between these dotted lines, we call that as canvas. And we are going to use this place to create our visualizations. Yeah. And let me mention one more important thing. Can you see this here? Can you see my cursor? I'm in visualizations, guys. In visualizations, even we have table also. Most of the people have wrong assumption saying like table is not a visualization, but it is also one of the visualizations, guys. So we'll be creating certain tables also. Then we have matrix also. We'll understand the difference between table and matrix sometime later. Okay. Now let's move on. For today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some data and I'm going to create a sample report. To create the sample report, what I'm going to do is, if you come here, can you see this option? In Canvas, it is saying add data to your report. What is the connector you are trying to use? Would you like to take the data from Excel? Would you like to take the data from SQL Server? Or would you like to take it from a blank table? Yeah, paste the data into a blank table. I don't want to use these three connectors. Now what I'm doing, I say use sample data. Now let me click on this. If I click on this use sample data, it is asking, yeah, if you are trying Power BI for first time, you can take a tutorial online. You can launch the tutorial, guys. Else what you can do, experiment on your own. You can try your hands. Now let me click on load sample data. So basically what you are doing, you have the sample data somewhere. From that place, you are loading your data to Power BI. That is the reason here we are using the word called load sample data. So now let me click on this load sample data. The moment you click on it, a connection will be established between the sample data and Power BI, guys. Then you get one more screen here. Yeah, so we call the screen as navigator. So from here, what we will do, we will go to the right data source. Now, if you see this here, financial sample.Excelytics. Can somebody tell me what is my source here? That is the name of the file. But am I using Excel or am I using CSV or am I using a database? What am I using as a source here?
Excel.
How do you know that, sir? It's Excel.
It's a .xlx file, right?
Absolutely. Can you see this .xls extension? .xlsx extension is for Excel only. So we are using one sample Excel file as a source. Okay. In that sample Excel file, we have two things. One is called financials and second one is called sheet one. When you say financials, so here, if you observe this icon, it looks like a table, guys. So this is a table and this icon looks like a sheet. So now this is a sheet and this is a table. When you have table and sheet both, I prefer to take table because table is a structured data format. Yeah. So now let me select this. The moment I click on this, what happens? It will give me the preview of the data. Yeah. Can you see this? This is the data what I have here. Now, below to the preview of the data, you see like load transform data. But now load and transform data both are disabled. Any idea why they are disabled?
Because you not selected that financial, you need to check that checkbox, then it will appear.
Absolutely, sir. First, what you need to do is, can you see a small checkbox here? If you come and check this box, I mean, if you select this checkbox, then load transform data will be enabled. Now, if you click on load, then what happens? The sample data from Excel will be loaded to Power BI. Yeah. But if you click on transform data, we don't load directly to Power BI, guys. We load it to backend application. So now let me click on transform data. If I click on transform data, one more screen will be open. This screen is nothing but Power Query editor, guys. Now what we are going to do is, using this Power Query editor, we are going to perform one activity called ETL. Extract, transform, and load. What do? We extract data from different sources using Power Query. Then we make necessary modifications. We call that as transform. Then when the complete data is ready, we load it to Power BI or any other application. So whoever is coming from data background, they are very familiar with the word called ETL. Now Power Query is used to perform ETL activities. Okay. So even we have one more explanation for this, guys. We have Power Query. We have Power BI. Power BI is the front-end application. But Power Query is considered as back-end application. Now, whatever the back-end transformations we are doing, we do all those transformations with Power Query. But Power Query is an inbuilt platform in Power BI. Yeah. Now, let's come here. So the screen, what you see here, we call this as Power Query Editor. Even Power Query Editor interface looks pretty similar to Excel only. Yeah, now, what are the transformations we are trying to do? You can do all the transformations here, then you can work with that. But for today, as it is the first session, let me not get into any transformations, guys. Yeah. So now, what are the transformations first we need to do? So here we have a checklist. The moment you load data, the first step what we need to check is, we need to check whether we have any null values or not. Yeah, null values are basically like empty cells. We don't have anything here. Generally, whoever is coming from Excel, we call them as blank cells. But here it is empty, no value, nothing is there. Whenever you see the word null, which means we don't have anything there. Yeah. Then first, the moment you get into Power Query Editor, what is the first check what we need to do? We need to check, are there any null values? Second check, we need to check, do we have the correct data types or not? Now let me show you what is this data type. If I come to Power Query Editor, so what is the first column I have?
Segment.
What kind of data it is, guys? Is it like a number or is it like a text?
It's a text.
Yeah, it's a text. Now, just beside the segment, can you see ABC here? Basically, what it is doing, it is talking about the data type of this column. Now, let me come here. If I click on this ABC, I place my cursor over the ABC here. Let me click on it. Then you see the different data types, what we have in Power BI. Yeah, if you see this here, ABC, it is classified as text. Then if you come here, we have decimal number, then we have fixed decimal number, then we have whole number, then we have percentage, date time, date, only time, then we have date time zone, then we have duration, we have Boolean values here, which is true or false. Yeah, then we have binary, which is 0 or 1, and we can use the locale also. I'll come to this. What is this locale? So these are the different data types what are available in Power BI. Now the biggest problem what happens when you load the data to Power Query, sometimes you end up getting the data with wrong data type. So we need to check if there are any data type mistakes, we need to correct them. How do we correct them? It's quite simple. You can come here. If you click on this, if you see some wrong data type, you select the required data type. That's one way. Second way, what you can do is you can make a right click on the column. Yeah. If you make a right click, can you see this change type? Even from here also, you can change the data type. This is second. And third one. Yeah. If you come to Home tab, can you see this Home tab in Power Query Editor? There is a group called transform. In transform also, you see the data type. Whatever the different data types we have, you see the same list here. Now, it's up to you, whatever the way you use. But I feel comfortable operating from here, guys. That's the reason. Always I come here and I select it. If I have to change it, I click on the required data type so that the column data type will be changed. Yeah, but here, do I have to change the data type for segment? No. For country, for product, discount band, do we have to change? There is no. How do you know that there is no discount, ma'am? Now, the preview, you are able to see none. But how many rows we have in this data? Can you see this? How many columns we have? 16 columns we have. And how many rows? So based on the preview of the data, how do you decide that we don't have the data? That's not correct, right? So now let's come here. If you expand this filter, you will be able to see some input here. Yeah, we are saying like discount band, high band, low band, medium band, and none. We have different discount bands here. So then let's move on. Unit sold, is it the correct data type? Do we have decimals in the data? Is it whole number, sir? Can you see this? What do we have? We are having decimal. So here we have the decimal here. We don't have any issue. Then let's come here. Manufacturing price. It's correct. Can you see this here? Manufacturing price we have as whole number only, and that's what been selected here. Then we have sale price. Even that also looks okay, right? Yeah. Then we have gross sale. Then we have discount. If you want to keep it in decimal number, you can do it. Or even if you want, you can change it to percentage also. It's up to you guys. Now, here it is saying the selected column has an existing type conversion. Now, would you like to replace the existing conversion or preserve the existing conversion and add the new conversion as a separate step here? Now, in Power Query Editor, guys, we call these things as queries. Now, whatever the activity we perform on the query, all the steps will be recorded here. Can you see the applied steps? All the steps will be available under applied steps. Now, it is asking, already we have a step here called change type. Now, would you like to change the data type again? If you want to add a new step, you can add one more step, or you can use the replace current. But right now, let's not do anything. Let's move on. I say sales. This is okay. Then COGS. Anybody become students? Can somebody help me with the COGS full form? Very important, guys. We must know this. What do we mean by COGS? No? Yeah, the full form of COGS is cost of goods sold. Cost of goods sold. You must know the full form, guys. Because we'll be using COGS a lot, especially when it comes to sales analysis. You must know what do we mean by COGS. So then we have profit. Then we have some dates here. I don't know what kind of date it is. From the date, we extracted month number. Then we extracted month name. Then we extracted year. So these are the columns what I have in my data. Yeah. Now, people will come and ask me how to check the null values. Right? That's what the first step we discussed. We discussed that the moment you load any data, first you need to check, are there any null values? But how do you know that there are null values or not? It's quite simple, guys. One way, if you expand your filter, if there are null values will appear in the as a first option in the filter. Do we have any null values here? No, this is one way. Second way, just below the header, can you see some coloring here? A light green color. Yeah. Now, this light green color talks about valid data. You would ask me, how do I know that light green represents valid data? In Power Query Editor, if you come to the tab called View, let me come to View. So there is one specific option in Power Query Editor in View that is called column quality. Now let me check this, guys. If I check this, now it is talking about your column quality. What is it saying? Valid data, errors, and empty. And each option is marked with one specific color. What is the color we have for valid data? Green. If there are errors, it is coming in like light red color, red or pink or whatever, I don't know what it is. Then we have empty. Empty is like gray color here. So now my point is quite simple. Whenever you see a mix of green and gray color, which means you can simply notice that there are some null values. But if you observe this column, do you see anywhere gray color? No, which means we don't have null values. So even you don't get into column quality by just looking at this. This is how you can identify whether you have null values or not. Yeah. Then I have a stupid question. If we have null values in other columns, what should I do? In which column I should check whether we have null values or not? Because if you take this data set, we have like 16 columns. There is a possibility that one column may contain null values. Yeah. In that case, do you remove those null values? Am I clear with my question? Yeah. We have totally 16 columns. Out of 16 columns, let's say one column. For example, let's say there is sales column.
Here we are having 16 columns, but will there be any possibility of having more than like 30, 40 columns?
Absolutely, we'll have.
Then how can we? There are any null values.
That's what I'm saying, sir. Sorry. Yeah. Now let's come here, guys. Now, if you have 16 or 20 columns, we don't check all the columns. And we are never worried whether all the columns have null values or not. What we will do, we will consider one column as a primary key. We are worried about only that column. What is the primary key? You may ask. Now, in SQL also we discussed, we use one specific value which uniquely identifies each row. Specifically, in that column, if you have null values, then it creates issue. But rest of the columns, you may have null values or you may not have. We are not worried about the rest of the columns. But whatever the column we are going to consider as primary key, we will make sure that there are no null values. Did I answer your question, sir? Yeah. Now here, I know this is not a unique value, but here I'm considering my segment as primary key. Just for example's sake, I'm taking this, guys. Now, we are done with two checks. One is we checked are there any null values, then we check the data types. Now, this data looks okay to me. Now, what I'm going to do is, from Power Query Editor, I'm going to load this data to Power BI. To do that, how do we load it from Power Query Editor to Power BI? In Home tab, can you see the first option below the file here? What do we have here? Close and apply. Now, if you expand this close and apply, you see three options. One is close and apply. Second one is apply. Third one is close. Now, you performed certain steps here after loading the data. Would you like to close Power Query Editor and you want to apply the steps? Yeah. Then what happens? This Power Query Editor screen will be closed. Then we have one more. We have close. I don't want to apply any of these steps. I want to close it. Possible? Then, last one. Yeah. Can you see this? Yeah, sorry, I missed apply. So in this case, what do? We still open the Power Query Editor, but we apply all these steps to the data set. But here, I will go with the option that is close and apply. because I don't want to see the Power Query editor. So whatever the steps I performed, I'll apply them. I close it. Let me say close and apply. Then you can say this. Here you are getting a caution here, saying like there are pending changes in your queries that haven't been applied. Now it is applying, guys. Can you see this? It is saying load financials, loading data to model. This is what I said, data model. 700 rows loaded. Can you see the confirmation here? Once the data is loaded, guys, now you see a pane here called data, a line which is called data. Under this data pane, whatever the data sets you loaded, they will be available here. But here, the headers will be arranged in alphabetical order. Can you see this? Now, what do? We select the required visualization. We will drag and drop the headers based on the requirement. That is the reason I said, if you are familiar with pivot table in Excel, you can work with the visualizations in Power BI very easily. Because in Excel, in pivot table, we use the drag and drop feature. The same thing we are going to do. Now, how to take the visualization? Let's come here. I go to the default visualization. For example, let's say, if I come here, can you see this clustered column chart? Let me click on this. If I click on this clustered column chart, then it will come and sit in your canvas. Now, here what we will do, based on the requirement, we will drag and drop the fields. Now, what I will do here, let me come to, which one shall we take? Yeah, can you see this segment? Now, let me drag and drop this segment to the visualization. If I drag and drop segment, it will be added to x-axis. Can you see in x-axis? We got segment. Generally, we keep the values on y-axis, right? So now, let me take sales. Where do we have it, sir? Yeah, sales. Now, if you take sales, let me take sales and I will keep it into y-axis. Each segment wise, now we have created sales visualization. Am I making sense? Yeah, but here I have a problem. Can somebody tell me what's the problem I have? Can you see the text here on x-axis? Is it visible? No, it's very small, right? Now, shall we increase the font here? Yeah, how do we increase that? First, let's select this visualization. I just clicked here, I selected my visualization. Then, if you come to the visualization pane, can you see this here? We have format. Now, let me get into format. Then you see all the options related to the format of this particular visualization in visualization space. Now, let me expand x-axis. If I come to x-axis, here we have a subsection here called values. Here we have x-axis values and the font size, what do we have? 9. So let me increase this to 20. Is it changed? Now, does it look better? The same way, now let me minimize this. I go to y-axis. Even in y-axis, let me scroll down. Can you see values here? Now let's come here. I go to values and let me change them to 15. Now you can say this. We have like 60 million, 40 million, 20 million, and million. Yeah. Now this is my first visualization. What did we do? First, we installed Power BI Desktop. Once we installed the Power BI Desktop, we got a required data and we made some of the transformations by moving to Power Query Editor. In Power Query Editor, we checked, do we have any null values or not? And do we have this data type issues? We checked. We made sure that there are no issues. Then we loaded the data. And after loading the data, we created this visualization. Are we good? Yeah, I have small requirement, guys. Can you see the header here? So we call this as chart title in Excel. Yeah, we have sum of sales by segment. I don't want to call this as sum of sales by segment because this is a default one which was created by Power BI. Now I want to change this. If I want to change this, how to change this? Again, same thing. First, I select the visualization. I come to format. Okay. Under format, we have two sections here. One is called visual level and another one is general. Now, if you come to general, can you see title here? Now let me expand this. So this is the title what I have. Now what I'm doing, I'll remove this. I say segment wise sales. Then the font size what I have is 14. Let me change this to 30. And here it is on left alignment. Let me keep it into center alignment. Okay. Then text color, it is black. If you want to give the back any different color, you can do that. And you want to give background color. Let's come here. What I'm doing, let me select something like this. This is okay, but still it is better if we apply border. Yeah, now let's apply border also, guys. I come here, let me select this visualization. Again, I go to format. Let's come to general. And here, can you see FX? If you come to FX, if you scroll down, you see visual border. Now, first you need to turn it on. Then if you expand this, you have the options here. If you want to change the border color, you can do that. But I don't want to do anything. So let me keep it like this. Now, my visualization looks like this. Yeah, any questions? I know we didn't discuss much. All these are quite basics, but we must know all these basics before we proceed.
Hi, Kiran.
Hi.
Yeah, Kiran, in this, where you see left-hand side, it's 0, 20, 40, 60 million. So can we make the changes to these numbers where it's like 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 20, 25 kind of thing?
Yeah, what do we call that in Excel, sir? Any idea?
I'm really not recalling now. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I'll trouble all of you a lot because I'll try to coordinate.
Yeah, understand. Yeah,
you guys have to bear with me. So let's come here. Now what I will do, let me click on this. Am I able to select it? But in Excel, if you click on the axis, you can select the axis. Then you can format your axis. But now let me select my visualization. Okay. I go to format visual. And if I come to Y axis, let's come here. Can you see? So here the range is automatic. Minimum range is automatically created and maximum range is also automatically created. Now you can change this, guys. Now what our friend is asking, instead of auto, can I fix this to something? Yes, absolutely you can do that. Yeah. So based on your requirement, even you can go with custom formatting on the y-axis also. You can do that. And you can change it, guys.
But again, Kiran, it's not done, right? It's just try to make it 0, 5, just difference between 5 numbers, 0,
Sure,
5, 10, 15.
Let's come here. Sir, can you see this here? So minimum, I kept it as 0 and the maximum I kept it as 1. So now my entire visualization is changed. But here, let me change this to auto. I'm so sorry. Let me select this again. So here you can change your range, sir. And we have one more option, sir, where you can set it. Not properties. Yeah. Can you see this display unit, sir?
Yeah.
Now, if you come here, the display units are automatically taken based on your data. Even we don't have this feature, especially in Excel, guys. Yeah, but here, based on the data, it will decide. So this is one thing. Second thing, if you come here, can you see this value decimals? Yeah.
Yeah.
Now let's
Yeah.
come here. Now, even you can switch your axis position also. Okay.
No, Kiran, it's not answered my question. What
Yeah.
I meant is, yeah,
Yes, sir.
let me elaborate. Yeah, it's a 0 to, what I'm saying is it starts from 0, then it's keep increasing by 5 numbers, 0, 5, 10, 15, 20.
Oh, intervals like 0 to 5,
Intervals like
then
this,
5 to
yes.
10.
Yes, right, right.
Okay. 1 second, sir. Somewhere we have this option, sir. Please give me
It's
some
okay.
time. I'll
Yeah,
check
sure, no
and
problem.
let you know, sir.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Thank you, Kiran.
We have that option, sir. We can change it. I mean, that's
Yeah,
very
sure, sure.
simple requirement.
Yeah.
Shall we? Yeah.
Yeah, sure, Kiran.
So this we have done with sample data, guys. Now, you guys will receive a folder from Excelytics. So this is a folder what you are going to receive, guys. Okay. Same like, I mean, some of you are coming from SQL batch. You know that we shared one SQL folder with you. The same way we are going to share a folder for Power BI also. In this, we have instructions folder. In this instruction folder, you have the installation guide here. Yeah, you can use this installation guide. Then you can go through this to complete the installation process. Second thing, here you see some notes, guys. So this is what I was referring earlier, M language. So this is a language which we are going to use in Power Query. We call this as mashup language. Okay. So I request everyone to go through this. Yeah. It will be quite simple only. I'm not asking you to by heart everything, guys. It's not required, but just try to understand what we have here. You don't have to by heart it. We'll see all these things. The reason why, now let's come here. Here, certain steps are performed, right? Now, how Power Query is able to perform these steps? Because a code was written for this. That is nothing but M language code, guys. Where do we see that? Now, if you come to advanced editor, this is the code what was written here. Now, if you want to understand this, we must have idea on this, guys. So I request everyone, please go through this. It will give you understanding. But tomorrow we will discuss this, guys. We'll do a basic transformation. Then using that, we will work. So let me close it up. Now let me come back to this folder.
Kiran, how to download the Power BI?
So if you come to the installation guide, sir, you can use this URL, or you can go to Microsoft Store. From there, you can download, sir. The installation process is quite simple, guys. You don't have to struggle with this. You just download, and once you download that setup file, if you execute that, then the installation will be completed. Yeah. One more check. By any chance, if anyone is using 32-bit version, please check, guys. If your OS is 32-bit version, then you'll have performance issues. Make sure you change your OS, then install it, guys. Otherwise, it creates a lot of performance issues. So let me close it here. The next thing. So there is one more folder, guys, called data sources. If you come to this data sources, we have so many sample data sources here. Using all these data sources, what we will do, we will load data to Power BI. From there, we'll do the transformation and we will work with it. So these are the different sources what we are going to use. Yeah, for tomorrow's session, we are going to use one specific file called 01 Superstores. We use this file and we will work in tomorrow's session, guys. Then last one, let's come here. If I come to course contents, I request everyone to go through this course content. Yeah, this is the same dialogue. When we start a batch, yeah, please go through this course content and make a list of the topics what we are going to discuss. You can always cross check. Yeah, please let me know if I miss any specific topic here so that we can cover that. So these are the topics what we are going to discuss in this course, guys. Yeah. Any other questions? No? Okay. So before attending tomorrow's session, I request everyone to go through this document also, that is Intro to Power BI. Whatever I discussed, guys, you see some notes here. What exactly we meant by data analysis and what type of data analytics we have. Yeah. And what do we mean by data visualization? And how are the opportunities? This is very old document, guys. So from here we have like what exactly a Power BI is. Then what are the components we have in Power BI? You have the complete explanation here. So this is a process flow to develop a report. First, what do? We get the data. Then we establish the necessary relationships. We call that as data modeling. Then we create the measures, yeah, using DAX. Then once we are done with all these things, we create the final report. Once the report is ready, we are going to assign some roles here. So you see a specific concept here called RLS, row level security. We use this and we publish. So this is the process flow, what we have to prepare a report and publish. And these are the prerequisites. What do we have? Yeah, here it is mentioned as desirable, but I say mandate. If you just want to know what is Power BI, yeah, SQL and Excel are desirable. But if you really want to work with Power BI, they are mandate. Any further questions? Yes, sir. No.
You also have to learn some basics of Python.
So to be in data analytics, you need to be familiar with the Python basics, sir. That's required. But in this course, that's not covered. That's a different one. No further questions. I'll stop here for today. We'll share the file with you guys. The file will be uploaded in WhatsApp group. Please keep the file ready before you attend the session. So two things, everyone has to complete Power BI desktop installation and keep the file ready, which we share in WhatsApp group. Yeah, online participants, if you don't have further questions, I'll stop here for today. Rest will continue tomorrow. Guys, one quick update. So tomorrow we'll have this session from 9 o'clock, only for tomorrow.
Yeah, sure, Kiran.
Yeah, 9 to 10 we'll have session. That's for only tomorrow, guys. Again, we have session on Saturday also. So Saturday 9:30 to 11:30. So please be available. Yep. Thank you.
Sure. Yeah.
I'll see you
Thank you,
tomorrow.
Kiran.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, see you. Bye-bye.
Bye, sir.